Now we've got our pencil with this nice chisel end, we'll make some wandering lines. So you pull your pencil down on the sharp edge, turn, you get thicker, turn, thinner, turn, thicker. This is really useful if you're doing trees. You can take it up, push down, turn, push down, turn and flick off. It's much easier than doing a wire work outline of a tree. You'll get much more interesting shapes. Practice this. It takes time to practice on a regular basis and get the feel of the pencil. One thing I can't emphasise enough is that you must practice. This doesn't come easily. It takes time. Drawing isn't something that you can pick up by doing once a week or once a month. It's something that really needs to be done daily. And often what I'll say to my students is just put a little sketchbook down by the side of your armchair and pick it up and draw something every day, whether it be a lamp or a book, apple or a still life, whatever. Just pick something up and sketch. It's really important. Drawing comes with practice. The other thing I get learners to do is ticks. This really helps with shading. You push down and pull out, down and out. You can turn it onto the chisel end and you'll get a completely different effect. This is great for grasses or hairs, and if you do it very closely together, it helps you with shading. Keeping the pressure on evenly. You get fine shading lines. What I do find is that some people make huge wire work outlines, so when they're drawing everything is very, very heavy. So if I do this very stylised picture of a flower, you can see what I mean when you've got these heavy wire work outlines. Too heavy. To make your drawing look natural, the best thing to do is to do heavier lines on the darker side and then turn your pencil so you've got your fine point, and don't put so much pressure on the lighter side. So you've got darker lines and lighter lines which help you when you come to shade. So if my light is coming from this side here, everything on this side is going to be a bit lighter. So we're looking at this maybe being a bit darker, maybe lighter there, light across the top here, light, dark underneath there where those two cross, lighter here, darker, more pressure, very light on the edge here, and lighter up at the back there. And then a lighter and darker line for the stem, so that when you come to shade, you shade to the tone of the line. You don't want to see the structure and the outline of your drawing. You want it all to become part of the shading. It makes it much easier if you don't have heavy wire work outlines. I'm going to draw a simple ball, and my light will be coming from this side. I make the darker side slightly heavier, and then I turn my pencil and get my chisel end, and I'm able to start shading. So you shade in the same tone as the line. And if you notice here, I'm using this tick and flick. It's the same sort of thing that I've shown you already. And what we're doing here is we're starting to establish some of the mid-tones. Gently bringing this across, don't put too much pressure on, but notice that I haven't put too much pressure on the light side of the line. Over here, we would again match the colour of the line with the shading, following the form. Make sure that you follow the form with your line. And then we can start to put a bit more pressure on and build up. All the time looking and seeing where you're keeping your lights and your mid-tones and your darks. I'm going to leave a little bit of a highlight up here. And then I'm putting more pressure on still. I'm still using my 9B. So I'm going to get some really nice darks. And I'm still on my flat chisel end. Now I'm going to really start to get this dark in along here. You can see it's starting to give it form. You don't want to see those dark lines of the pencil mark. Okay. And then finally, right underneath here, I've turned my pencil to get the sharp point, and I'm going to put the dark that sits right underneath that ball. And then bring it out. This is my shadow, and it's what makes the ball sit. This is a very simple diagram, but it just shows you how you can make form, show form, just by shading. If you want to work the outline like this and then just start randomly shading all the way over, up and down and all over, you don't get the form of the ball. People put far too much pressure on too soon, and then you've got a really hard line here to get rid of. And in the end, what happens is you end up with a sort of flat pancake. You have to have a little bit of patience with shading rather than just scribbling. Always, always remember to follow the shape and the form of whatever you're drawing.